All right, there we go. I don't know why my mic keeps on doing that. Anyways, how's it going, everyone? Back to the Hizzy Hustle for round 2 today. I wasn't planning on doing this one, but I just saw a bunch of stuff popping up that might be of concern for people. It sounds like there has been yet another confirmation that these tariffs will be happening tomorrow. My name is Tyler Heisman. I am a licensed realtor here in the Okanagan. Just another concerned Canadian that wants to know what the heck's going on in this country. It's not looking too good. It sounds like these tariffs are coming, and it sounds like we're not doing anything to stop it except for retaliate. So let's take a look here. I got the White House press secretary just about to give her spiel on what's going on tomorrow.
If they have, I'm not sure if they have, but I won't speculate on potential pardons that may or may not happen. To my awareness, the answer is no. Justin.
Hey, friends at Reuters are reporting that the president has made a decision on the Canada and Mexico tariffs, but that they won't actually be implemented until March 1st. I was wondering if you could confirm that and talk through some of the president's things.
Well, yesterday in the White House, he said that tariffs will be coming in today, and then it will be reassessed on April 1st, not March 1st.
I saw that report and it is false. I was just with the president in the Oval Office, and I can confirm that tomorrow, the February 1st deadline that President Trump put into place at a statement several weeks ago continues. The president will be implementing tomorrow a 25% tariffs on Mexico, 25% tariffs on Canada, and a 10% tariff on China for the illegal fentanyl that they have sourced and allowed to distribute into our country.
Canada should get 10% and China should get 25%. That's not fair.
Which has killed tens of millions of Americans. These are promises made and promises kept by the president.
The president yesterday said that last night he was planning to discuss whether an exemption would be made on oil imports. Do you have any information on what decision he made there, or will there be exemptions at all offered under this?
I don't have an update or readout for you on the exemptions, but those tariffs will be for public consumption in about 24 hours tomorrow, so you can read them then.
Well, that's pretty much all we're going to get from her. Not looking too good on that one. I wonder if the oil, realistically, oil's the only one that's not beneficial for the U.S. or mostly not beneficial for the U.S. to put a tariff on. But I also wonder if that's because Alberta and Danielle Smith seem to be the only ones that are actually trying to take care of the root of the problem, in which why these tariffs were being implemented in the first place. It was said, I think, Alberta's oil makes up 83% of Alberta's total export to the United States. So if they can manage to dodge that 25% tariff, Alberta's looking really, really good in this market. So who knows? Maybe I've been seeing a lot of people saying that Danielle Smith's a traitor. Maybe she's taking the right steps. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I try to stay nonpartisan in this situation, but just saying it like it is, right? So anyways, I got since we decided to take a look at what Mark Carney had to say this morning about the carbon tax, let's give the leader of the opposition to what's looking to be our next prime minister's response to what he just had to say.
Just as I predicted, today, Mark Carney announced that he will pause.
What is going on here?
Trudeau's carbon tax until after the election, and then bring in a much bigger tax that has no rebate. Mr. Carney has been Justin Trudeau's economic growth advisor, who's been saying for years that not only does he support a consumer carbon tax, but that he thinks the tax must be much higher. Now, before I get into the details, let me address a little tax trick that he has planned. It's kind of clever. He's announced that he will pause the carbon tax for a few months right before the election to trick people into re-electing the Liberals. After the election, he will bring in a much bigger carbon tax, when he no longer needs your vote, but still needs your money. He has said that this bigger carbon tax will only apply to businesses. Well, that's how it is now. When you fill up your tank today, there's no CRA tax collector standing there waiting to collect it from you. It applies on the wholesale industry, which passes it on to the retail vendor, who pass it on to you. Now, that is what he will do again, only this time.
And that's a good point to make, and the point that I will always make myself is no business in the right mind that has the idea of making money will take a fee that was imposed on them rather unjustly and then eat the costs and be like, oh, it's not for my consumers to pay for. Unfortunately, it'll just work its way down the supply chain, right? The profit margins will always stay in the optimal range, and whatever follows that will be kind of the outcome of what the consumers then experience, right?
It will be a much bigger tax, and he has admitted there will be no rebate to pay you back the cost. He has called it a shadow carbon tax. Listen in.
We need to use effectively a shadow carbon price.
You know who will love this idea? President Donald Trump. Mr. Carney's new and bigger tax on Canadian lumber mills, steel mills, factories, and aluminum plants will force them to leave for the United States. Here we have...
And just as a point to make when it comes to the housing market in particular, these all affect the price that it costs to build a home. And now you're going to potentially start penalizing more corporations. And then now these people who, might have wanted to start their own trade businesses and stuff like that, they just won't be looking to do it. It's just not sensible anymore, right? You could outsource your employment to elsewhere, right? You're taking away a lot of potential. It's not the big investments that are also the problem. It's the smaller ones. It's the people that have not a lot of money to try to create a business or an opportunity for themselves that are essentially now just getting hammered in a different way, right?
The threat of U.S. sanctions on our industry. And Mark Carney thinks now is the time to hit our businesses with higher taxes? You can picture President Trump calling our businesses and telling them to move south of the border, where there is no carbon tax and where other taxes are dropping. Carbon tax Carney will give you a pause in the Liberal tax for a few months just to get through the election. And then he'll bring in the mother of all carbon taxes, a job-killing, inflationary carbon tax that will drive jobs into the hands of President Trump. My common sense plan will axe the tax for everyone forever. I'll also axe the sales tax on home building to save you up to $50,000 on a new home.
Fully support this. Fully support this.
Finally, we'll cut income taxes so hard work pays off. We'll cut bureaucracy, consultants, corporate welfare, foreign aid, and other waste to save the money that can bring down your taxes and our country's debt. We must immediately pass a massive bring-it-home tax cut on work, investment, energy, home building, and making stuff in Canada.
Right on. I fully agree with that. Now, people are often polarized when it comes to these political topics, especially when it comes to an idea from a conservative and an idea from a liberal. I think the simplest thing that we need to do is cut taxes. And there is never going to be a perfect scenario in which you can get the billionaires and the top 1% to pay more taxes than the average working people, unless you were to essentially give people an income tax break, which would be the only thing that kind of directly affects working people or whatever. Other than that, the best way to bring down costs for consumers and to help with affordability is, unfortunately, to give the tax breaks to the people that are supplying the services, the corporations, the people that actually, kind of dictate these prices. If you allow them to make a good amount of money without having to pay out the nose, then they will, in some way, shape, or form, pass that not savings, but they won't inflate their market pricing as much, so that they won't need to, because it's essentially just it's just cheaper for them to build, right? Cheaper to borrow, cheaper to build, cheaper to buy. So that's it. Just a little short one that I wanted to pop in. We'll see you tomorrow for the actual tariff announcements, where we find out just how bad Canada gets hit. So till then, please don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, and you can get access to these live broadcasts whenever they go. So have an awesome rest of your day, and we'll see